All right. Started. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Exchange Pavilion. If you haven't been here before, it's a space that embodies creativity and connects cultures, much like the Pulkari embroidery that I hope you can see. It's very vibrant. I'm Sheba Najmi, the founder and executive director of Code for Pakistan. And today I'm excited to take you on a journey to the northwest province called Khyber-Pakhtunkhwa, or KP for short, in Pakistan, which is a province that's brimming with both challenges and untapped potential. The Pulkari embroidery that you saw is crafted by women from KP, each stitch telling a story of tradition, artistry, and resilience. Let me first take you to Bannu, a city in KP that's a place where you can almost hear history talking through its ancient bazaars. It's a city where resilience is more than just a trait. It's the way people live every day. But despite its charm, the women and youth of Bannu face significant challenges. Let me introduce you to Tabinda. Early last year, Tabinda was pursuing her master's in data science and had a deep love of books and poetry and music. Staying in a women's hostel, she would travel 2.5 hours home for the holidays from her university, accompanied by her father or a relative. But as a woman in Bannu, desiring work experience, she faced challenges that many of us might find really hard to imagine. To really grasp what Tabinda's life is like, we need to understand the context of the city of Bannu. In this city, like in several parts of the KP province, tribal systems aren't just a part of history. They actively shape daily life today. Local customs, led by male elders, influence social and political dynamics all the time. This creates a complicated environment where progress, especially for women and youth, can be really, really challenging. In Bannu, a city of over 1 million, where women make up almost half the population, you rarely see women out and about on the streets. Let's step into Tabinda's shoes for a moment. Unlike many of us, Tabinda can't just call an Uber to go to work, or run errands at Target, or grab coffee with friends after hours. Her world, while rich in culture and tradition, comes with challenges that affect every aspect of her aspiration for a professional journey. And this is where our story starts, at the crossroads of tradition and ambition, where you see that women like Tabinda are designing new chapters in KP's history. Today, we'll dive into how we're working to bridge these gaps and unlock the vast potential of KP's women. I'd like you to pause with me for a moment. Imagine being a young woman in KP with dreams of education and a professional career, but the odds are stacked against you. You can't just hop on a bus to get to school or to work, because cultural norms require a male family member to accompany you everywhere. Your family worries about you working alongside men, and there's always pressure to get married young. Similar to Tabinda, this was Pakiza's reality. Pakiza is a young woman from a village in KP called Bandiyan. Pakiza is determined and she's a fighter. In a society where many girls are pushed into early marriages, she stood firm in her pursuit of an education. Every day, her farmer father or brother would make the hour and 45-minute journey to take her to a nearby city called Abbottabad, a college there, and it's a city that you may have heard of in the context of Osama bin Laden. She was able to graduate from college at the age of 20 before entering into an arranged marriage. To give you some context of the deep-seated hunger for education among the girls of KP, you might recognize the region from Malala's story. She hails from Swat, a city not far from Abbottabad. Malala faced a brutal battle for her right to an education, even taking a bullet from the Taliban as a young girl. Now that's a real fight. A fight that eventually led to incredible good. Today, Malala is a global champion for women's rights, showing how one girl's struggle can lead to worldwide change. And the drive for change across Pakistan extends far beyond education. In 2013, I started a nonprofit, Code for Pakistan, to help introduce civic tech and community engagement in the country. For those unfamiliar with the term, civic tech refers to creating solutions that serve society by making public services more transparent and human-centered and participatory, with an emphasis on involving the people who will actually use the tools in their creation and design process. Later that year, Anna O'Donnell from the World Bank, who was recently assigned a new mandate to focus on education and technology in KP, reached out to ask for assistance with initiatives for youth in the province. Now, growing up in the south of Pakistan, I first visited KP as a child with my family, drawn by its beautiful mountainous landscape. I returned in 2014 at Anna's request to introduce the idea of civic innovation in the province. At the time, KP was marred by regular bombings, violence by the Taliban, and targeted killings, especially in areas close to the tribal belt. As a result, the region was heavily militarized, with citizens dealing with curfews, roadblocks, and checkpoints all the time. Security issues were a part of daily life, including disrupting school and work. Despite the risks and uncertainty and my family's very valid concerns for my well-being, I pressed forward to organize KP's first civic hackathon, and I remember sleeping in a heavily fortified bulletproof bunker provided by the World Bank. And in spite of the danger and challenges, the event turned out to be a huge success with a huge turnout. But I noticed that besides Anna and myself, there were only a couple of other women present. 98% of the participants were men. It didn't feel inclusive, so we started to dig deeper. Oh, I think I went really far ahead. There we go. So what I didn't realize is that this work, that moment, was just the beginning of a decade-long engagement that we would have in the KP province, and that we were going to see a lot more women in tech, in the tech space in KP. Following the Civic Hackathon, we launched a fellowship program in partnership with the KP government and the World Bank to improve public services and to better meet the needs of citizens in the province. Every year, the KP Government Innovation Fellowship Program brings together local tech talent, designers, developers, and researchers for 6 months to partner with government departments, really try to understand the needs of citizens and create public solutions that meet those needs. The fellows are led by the Code for Pakistan team, employing design thinking, lean and agile methodologies, and a very citizen-centered mindset that's not generally present in government. So far, hundreds of fellows have worked on everyday public needs through the program. We've also trained 600 government staff, improving their efficiency and saving tons of hours of government work. So after successfully running a few cycles of the fellowship program, something important became clear. Despite having a dedicated quota of 5 women in each cohort of 20 fellows, we were really hard-pressed to find any women who would qualify for those 5 seats. The reason? Our minimum requirement for work experience was unintentionally keeping women out. It didn't feel inclusive, and so we started to dig deeper. Anand Zakaria, the head of our fellowship program, took on this challenge, conducting in-depth research to better understand the barriers that these women faced and what it would take to truly integrate them into the social fabric and into the job market, which ultimately led to the launch of the KP Women Civic Digital Internship Program 3 years ago, the first of its kind in the region. Let's hear directly from Anam how her research led to the creation of this program.
The Women Internship Program came out of this realization that there were so many skilled and talented women in the region who wanted to participate, they wanted to be civically engaged, they wanted to be working on projects, but there were systemic, structural, and cultural barriers that were impeding their entry. Even for our own KP Government Innovation Fellowship Program, we had a requirement of at least 1 year work experience. And what we were noticing was that, we have this quota for women, but we're not being able to fulfill it. It's a struggle every single year. And why is that happening? And they were not being able to gain work experience because of cultural and structural barriers. So for instance, transportation issues, or the fact that a lot of workspaces are male dominated and the families wouldn't be comfortable with them. So this program was created with that problem in mind, to address that gap to overcome it, and to really create pathways for women to enter the fellowship, but also, of course, create pathways for them to take on other opportunities and really contribute to the workforce in ways that they wish to. In terms of like just setting up this program and any of the challenges that we faced, I think when you're working with a lot of different partners, you are all kind of aligned on the goal, but then the question is, how do we really make this happen? So we had to have a lot of conversations with the KPIT board, our partner, with the World Bank, who initially helped us conceptualize this idea as well, to kind of think about the strategy and the creation of a platform like this. One of the things I wanted to be really sure about was that we were not duplicating efforts, because in the nonprofit sector and in the public sector, often a lot of fantastic work is happening, but it's happening in silos.
So based on Anam's research, we designed the KP Women's Civic Digital Internship Program to tackle the challenges that women face after graduating from college in KP, like transportation issues, cultural norms, and the lack of flexible job options. This 6-month internship program was online, so they could build their skills from home and explore new ways to enter the workforce. But we weren't just interested in opening doors. We wanted to create long-term pathways for these women to thrive and succeed in their careers over the future. One of the biggest challenges these 56 women from all over KP, including areas that were very remote and underserved, faced was something we often take for granted, which is the lack of reliable internet connectivity. A lot of the time we had to travel miles just to get online. We knew that if we were truly committed to inclusion, we had to break down this barrier. So our first step was reaching out to telecommunications companies to secure internet devices and prepaid internet plans for all 56 women for the whole duration of the 6-month internship program, which they very generously donated. This was a huge leap, not just for our program, but for these women, many of whom worried that they wouldn't be able to participate if they couldn't get online. Bushra, one of our alumni fellows from KP, really understood the challenges that our interns faced because she had been through this herself. Her knack for connecting with the women made her the perfect choice to manage the internship program. She was always there to offer encouragement when needed and to lend a listening ear to the interns at any time as they went through a lot of personal challenges through these 6 months. Let's hear Bushra's experience in her own words.
I have been associated with Khyber-Pakistan since 2017, when I joined as a fellow during the KP fellowship program. I was assigned to manage the 9 interns on board during the inaugural cycle of the KP Women's Internship program. The format of the internship program was left remote to address the challenges faced by the interns, be it structural challenges or institutional challenges. During the internship program, these interns were assigned mentors who were subject matter experts and volunteered to help these interns learn these skill sets within the ICT sector. To help these interns pursue their internship program from the comfort of their homes, we partnered with local telcos to provide these interns with internet devices. Apart from the weekly mentorship sessions, we also offered external speaker sessions where industry leaders joined us to help these interns learn about emerging technologies, and offered financial inclusion for these women interns by partnering with local banks to help these interns create their own bank accounts. I'm happy to continue this path and help these women become a better version of themselves and help them to create their own spaces where they feel a sense of belonging.
Thanks to our government partner, the internship model was designed to include stipends so the women could not only learn but also earn, giving them economic independence and freedom for the first time in their lives. However, we faced a new challenge when we asked about their bank accounts. None of the interns had one. Most of the women didn't even have mobile phone SIM cards registered in their own names, which is a basic requirement for opening up a bank account. Instead, their phones were registered under the names of male relatives. Our next step was to help these women register their own phone numbers so that they could open bank accounts and start towards being financially included. After graduation from the program, Sana, one of our first interns, applied for a job at the Bank of Khyber. During her job interview at the bank, she talked about how the women's internship shaped her career path. The bank, which has a service focused on supporting women's bank accounts, saw a strong alignment with their own goals. They were really impressed by the program's impact, which ultimately led to a partnership with the internship program. Now, the Bank of Khyber has made the account opening process easier and more accessible for all the interns, helping them set up their own bank accounts. When the interns got their first stipends, many of them said that it was a pivotal point, turning point in their confidence. A lot of them were in arranged marriages and lived in joint family setups, so becoming earners in their households really changed their status. They weren't just daughters-in-law anymore. They were contributors to the family income. This kind of economic empowerment meant the world to them and to their families. The full-time 6-month internship focused on both learning skills and gaining hands-on experience with civic projects. All interns learned the fundamentals of design, development, data science, machine learning, and quality assurance, while also focusing more deeply on their chosen track. They received trainings in soft skills and professional development like teamwork, communication, presentation skills, ethics, and how to use LinkedIn for networking, and tools like Canva and GitHub. Our program team continually took the interns' input and they customized the topics based on what they wanted to learn. By the halfway point of the internship, we could see a visible difference as the women emerged from their shells and they really started to shine. I'll let Aqsa, Shahira, and Pakiza tell you more themselves.
इस इंटर्नशिप की जो मुझे सबसे अच्छी बात लगी थी वो सिर्फ ये नहीं है कि इस इंटर्नशिप से इम्प्रूव हुई है मेरे टेक्निकल स्किल्स, बट ये जो इंटर्नशिप थी इससे मेरे जो कॉन्फिडेंस था वो भी काफ़ी गेन हुआ था, क्योंकि ये वो वाहिद इंटर्नशिप थी जिसमें हमारे आइडियाज़ को, हमारे काम को अप्रिशिएट किया जाता था। मैं अदर गर्ल्स को यही कहूँगी कि वो ये लाजमी इस इंटर्नशिप को अवेल करें, क्योंकि ये जो इंटर्नशिप थी ये मेरे लिए बहुत अच्छी थी, क्योंकि इट ओपन अप मैनी अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ फॉर मी एंड गिव मी दी इनकरेज टू फॉलो अप माय ड्रीम्स। इस इंटर्नशिप के बाद मैंने यही फील किया था कि हर लड़की को इस इंटर्नशिप में आना चाहिए, और आई स्ट्रांगली इनकरेज women who want to enter this IT field, who want to enter this field to take advantage of opportunities like the KP Women Digital Civic Internship.
When I received my first paycheck, it was totally different kind of happiness. वो सारा जो है मैंने जैसे ही अपनी मामा को हैंड ओवर किया, she was like कि finally हमारा like एक मेहनत जो है वो उस काम आ गई है, हमारे बच्चे जो है इस काम को करते हैं।
जिस तरह हैदराबाद नामसेरा साइड पे जो है जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटीज जो फीमेल्स के लिए वो बहुत कम है, और जो हमारा ये जो प्रोग्राम था इसका स्ट्रक्चर इस तरह से था कि ये टोटली रिमोट था और इसमें हमें इंटरनेट डिवाइसेस भी प्रोवाइड की गई जिसके जरिए हम जो है अपनी इंटर्नशिप जो है उसको कंटिन्यू कर सकते हैं। ओरिएंटेशन के बाद हमारे जो बैंक अकाउंट्स थे वो बिल्कुल बने हुए नहीं थे, उसके लिए हम बेसिक्स गाइडलाइंस प्रोवाइड की गई ऑनलाइन हमारे सेशन में कि आप इस तरह से जो है अपने फॉर्म्स फिल करने हैं, अप्लाई करना है एटीएम कार्ड के लिए, और फाइनली जो है फिर सेशंस की वजह से जो है हमारे पास एटीएम कार्ड्स हमारे पास आ गए।
इंटर्नशिप की सबसे अच्छी बात ये थी कि आफ्टर ग्रुप हैंड हमें फिर से ऑप्शन दिया गया कि आप जो है अपनी सेलेक्टेड फील्ड को कंटिन्यू करना चाहती हैं या नहीं। So I decided कि मैं जो है इसी अपने ऐप डेवलपमेंट को कंटिन्यू करूँ।
This is Osmia from a small town in KP called Lower Deed. She joined the program with a month-old baby. Alongside new mothers like Osmia, there were women in the program who had just gotten married, some were pregnant, and some even found out during the 6-month internship that they were expecting. Others were juggling the demands of taking care of seriously sick parents. Many times they felt overwhelmed and they felt that they couldn't continue with the program because of their family responsibilities. But our team was there to support them, to provide emotional counseling and guidance, and to encourage them at every step of the way. And they pulled through, all 56 of them. Today, we have a strong and vibrant alumni community of 56 women interns, each bringing her own unique challenges, skills, and story to the table. Amidst everything I've shared, there's one moment that really sticks with me. It was the final graduation day, the final ceremony of the 6-month internship program, where the interns were coming to receive their certificates, and we had arranged for a job fair with employers. And the air was thick with excitement, all of these interns finally completing their journeys of these 6 months. And as I approached the government-based office, I saw something I hadn't expected. There was a line of men at the entrance outside the main hall. And so at first I was confused, why were these men there? And then I was deeply moved when I learned that it was the fathers and husbands of our interns. They didn't just wait outside for hours. They were there with a purpose to support their daughters and their wives. In that moment, the significance of what was happening really hit me. These men, shaped by the very culture that we were working to evolve, had become the vanguard of change. Their presence spoke volumes about trust earned, about minds opened, and about futures being reimagined. One father, so moved by this experience, sent us a heartfelt message from his village. His words capture what this internship meant to his daughter, Nafisa.
मेरा नाम शिव हुसैन है, मेरा ताल्लुक अब तक चित्राल और वर्क सेंटर से। सबसे पहले मैं कोटखार पाकिस्तान और आईटी बोर्ड का मशकूर हूँ कि वो मेरे बेटी नफीसा को 6 महीने सिविक वुमेन इंटर्नशिप का मौका फराहम किया और वो अपने स्किल डेवलप की, साथ ही स्टेपन भी देते थे। मैं आईटी बोर्ड और कोटखार पाकिस्तान से दोबारा गुजारिश है कि वो ऐसे प्रोग्राम लाकर बच्चों को मजीद स्किल डेवलप करें। शुक्रिया।
Remember Pakiza, who fought to finish her degree before her arranged marriage? She was lucky to get a supportive husband who, despite not having the opportunity to go to college himself, supported her education. At the start of the women's internship program, when Pakiza had to attend orientation at the government office in person, her husband took a day off work to travel and to accompany her. It wasn't just a nice gesture, it was essential, showing how critical male allies are in helping women step out of traditional roles. Pakiza's story isn't just about her success, it highlights the real challenges women in KP face. For many, male support isn't optional, it's vital. Without allies like her husband, many opportunities would be completely out of reach for Pakiza. Behind every woman who joins our program, there's often a male family member helping challenge old norms and opening doors to new possibilities. Hajra grew up in a town called Charsadda, with her dad always telling her, girls don't study engineering. But she didn't back down. One sunny day, her cousin showed up with great news. The family had rallied behind her and applied on her behalf for admission to a private university in Peshawar. 4 years later, she graduated with a degree in software engineering. But by the time she got the offer for the KP Women's Civic Digital Internship Program, her life had changed dramatically. In just a year, she had had an arranged marriage, she'd lost both her father and father-in-law, and she was about to give birth. She didn't think she could handle it all, but her husband encouraged her not to pass up on the opportunity for something that she would regret later. Against the odds, but with his support, her mother-in-law's help, the flexibility of the remote internship, and the understanding and support from the program team, she somehow managed to juggle learning, being a new mom, and helping her husband through kidney surgery, all during the full-time 6-month internship. When I watched Hajra and the other women interns present on their final demo day, what amazed me the most was just how far they had come in just 6 months. Starting from limited access to technology to delivering demos with real depth and insight, their progress was nothing short of extraordinary. I'm incredibly grateful to all the people, experts in design, full-stack engineering, data science, and quality assurance, who stepped up when we called for mentors. Each woman was paired with a dedicated mentor to support her throughout her 6-month journey. Do you remember Tabinda from Banu? After her graduation from the internship, I learned that her monthly stipend had paid for the last 2 semesters of her master's degree. Now she's working from home as a contract data scientist using the marketing skills she learned during the program. During the program, she had activated her LinkedIn profile, and now she has 1,600 followers. And she's not just building her network, she's challenging the status quo, rewriting her story, and shaping her own path. Aksa, who focused on machine learning during the internship program, now works with a leading radio and telecommunications company that collaborates closely with the government. Initially, Aksa was extremely shy and reserved, and it was so inspiring to see her demeanor transform over the course of the 6 months as she gained more self-confidence. From design and data science to machine learning and AI, these women are breaking barriers to pursue their dreams. Many have already joined the workforce, holding jobs in the industry and making a real difference in their own lives and in their communities. They're living proof that with the right support and determination, anything is possible. So what does it take to break down barriers to include underserved groups in society? For us, it starts with a human-centered design approach, really understanding the challenges and constraints the women of KP face, and then tackling each one systematically. It takes empathy, commitment, and genuinely listening to keep responding to new needs as they emerge. It's about building trust by caring, by offering resources that empower them, by creating spaces where they feel seen and heard, and then they can stay engaged beyond the program. And to keep ourselves accountable, we measure progress every step of the way. Here's a quick recap of how we systematically tackle the barriers through the design of the KP Women's Civic Digital Internship Program. First, accessibility. We made sure the program was remote so the interns could join from home. We provided internet devices, prepaid plans, and recorded sessions so that new moms could catch up as needed. Financial barriers were next. Monthly stipends gave interns financial independence, and our government partner also covered travel costs for the orientation and the graduation when they had to come to the government office in person. We also helped them register phones, open bank accounts, and get ATM cards. Then we focused on skills gaps. Interns received one-on-one mentorship, weekly assignments, and hands-on training in both technical and soft skills. Mentors were paid stipends, ensuring high-quality guidance. We also conducted regular evaluations and tailored topics based on the interns' input to make sure they were always getting what they needed. Support systems were essential too. We offered emotional support with our teams counseling the women interns through their personal challenges. We made it easy and anonymous for the women to give regular feedback about their needs and about the program, and we created a WhatsApp community so the interns could stay connected and support each other. We also kept alumni interns engaged in sharing their experiences and encouragement with new cohorts of women interns. And then finally, we tackled professional barriers. The interns gained real-world experience working on government and community projects, which also helped them become more civically aware. Over the course of the program, we hosted 65 speaker sessions featuring global speakers who provided insights and inspiration, expanding the interns' exposure, learning, and all of their networking opportunities. We helped them build LinkedIn profiles and freelancer profiles. We trained them in social media, self-marketing, and how to interview for jobs, and how even to know what to ask for as a freelance contractor. We organized a job fair to connect them with potential employers. And then even after the program wrapped up, we continued to provide job search support and references, and we continue to do so today. So by systematically tackling each barrier, we try to create a supportive, empowering environment where these women could learn, grow, and pursue their aspirations. Last year, as Code for Pakistan celebrated its 10th anniversary, it was a good milestone to take a step back and see how far we've come in connecting citizens and government to create better public solutions. Fast forward to now, This week, we kicked off our 8th cohort of the fellowship program, and next month we're launching a new cohort for the KP Women's Civic. At the heart of this work is this amazing full-time team of good people at Code for Pakistan, all based in Pakistan, who tirelessly pursue our vision of making inclusive public services a reality, and they help the dreams of the KP women interns come true. I'm not sure they realize it, but their commitment and their warmth and their humor and their genuine desire to make a difference inspires me every day. I'll let you hear directly from them, along with some of our interns.
This is about building futures.
For a world where every woman can thrive, it's up to us to take steps today. We must challenge the status quo.
How we see our potential.
The opportunities around us. Everything we learn. Every skill we acquire shapes our tomorrow. We need to advance with purpose. With resilience, collaboration.
And real impactful action. Without empowerment, growth is hard.
For a better tomorrow is about women learning.
And uplifting each other to create real change.
We not take any opportunity for granted. We won't just wait to see what's next.
We will create our own paths.
For the women of KB.
For the women of KB.
For the women of KB.
We will do it because we believe in our future.
Because we can make a difference.
Because of her. Because of you.
Because of us, if we look ahead with courage.
We can take for granted, dedicated to the women of KB.
Code for Pakistan is an initiative of Tech for Change, the 501c3 nonprofit I founded that's based right here in San Diego. Tech for Change also hosts the global Code for All movement, which connects Code for Pakistan to a worldwide community of civic tech organizations in the network. I invite you to join us. Whether you're in Pakistan, San Diego, or anywhere else in the world, there's a place for you in this story. You can mentor one of our interns for 6 months, or share your expertise in an hour-long remote session on one of these technical areas, or soft skills, or professional development. You can make a lasting impact by supporting an intern with a laptop or a small contribution, or offering freelance work. Every bit of support brings us closer to meaningful, lasting change. We'd love your ideas, your energy, and commitment because it truly takes a village to rewrite the narrative. A huge thank you to Zoe, who's not only leading the charge for San Diego Design Week, but also asked me to create this talk and advocated tirelessly for it in order to bring the stories of these incredible women to you. Thank you for shepherding the village, Zoe. And a heartfelt thank you to the wonderful team at Code for Pakistan who run the internship program every day, and those who also helped craft this presentation and bring the intern stories to life. Together, we can help make progress beyond existing norms and create new ways of learning, doing, and belonging. So thank you for all of your support, and thank you for listening. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Yes, you
I know, this mic is
well, you mentioned that you used a human-centered design approach and that you overcame